Some students find it a little difficult to establish the relation between the given two sides. A little difficult. So what you must do is, once you realize that these are the two sides that they are talking about, in triangle ABC, AB is what? The tree or the height of the tree. BC is what? The length of the shadow, isn't it? Now they are asking us to form a relation between the height of the tree and the length of the shadow. And how the relation has to be established? The height of a tree is root 3 times the length of its shadow. So I will start writing the equation here. The height of the tree, which is AB, is. This means what? Equal to sign root 3 times. That means root 3 into the length of its shadow, which is BC. Do you all agree with this? Huh? AB is equal to root 3 into BC. Am I clear with this concept? You just established a relation between the height of the tree and the length of the shadow. All right. Now AB is equal to root 3 into BC. So can I say AB divided by BC? AB divided by BC is equal to root 3. I can say this. AB divided by BC is what? Root 3. Now AB divided by BC is root 3. You look at this diagram and tell me, with respect to this angle C, what is AB is the opposite side. What is BC is the adjacent side. What is opposite upon adjacent? Tan function. So instead of AB upon BC, can I say tan with reference to angle C is equal to root 3? I can say this. Does that make sense, children? Tan with reference to angle C is what? Root 3. So children, they were asking us to find what? The angle of, they were asking us to find the angle of elevation. See this? They were asking us to find the angle of elevation. It's quite obvious, no children, since the person is standing somewhere over here at point C on the ground, and sorry, they are asking us to find what? The angle of elevation of the sun. Okay, angle of elevation of the sun. So a little time I will take to teach you how the logic has to go by. Okay, children, it's quite obvious, though the sun should be standing somewhere over here. The sun should be standing somewhere over here, isn't it? So that the rays of the sun will fall on this tree, and the shadow BC will fall on the ground surface on the other side or on the opposite side. That's how it has to go, isn't it? If my shadow has to fall on this wall, then the source of light should be in the opposite direction, isn't it? From there, the bulb has to uh, emanate its rays so that it falls on me, and my shadow is created on the opposite side, isn't it? So that is why I have drawn the sun over here, this side. The sun rays is falling on this tree AB, and its shadow is falling on the opposite direction, that is on the ground surface. Now they are asking us how much is the angle of elevation of the sun. That means it's a very hypothetical question, okay, children? Now, why did I say it is a hypothetical question? Is there a way that, or is it possible for some observer to look at the sun directly? No. No matter even if they give you the best quality sunglasses, isn't it? Nobody on the earth can look at the sun directly. So it is just a hypothetical question. They are asking you if somebody can look at the sun directly from that point C, where the shadow of the tree ends, how much would be the angle of elevation of the sun? This is a very hypothetical question. Practically, it is impossible. All right. So children, this is the angle which you have to find. Let me take it as theta. Okay. Now, tan C is equal to root 3. So with reference to this angle C, children, with reference to this angle C, you have already got its value. How much it is? Root 3. So when the tan function is equal to root 3 with reference to an angle, what should be the value of that particular angle? 60 degree, because you all know tan with reference to 60 degree is what? Root 3. Perfect. Tan with, where is the book? Jeevan? Arthur, where is the book? Tan with reference to 60 degree is always root 3. I hope you all learned the trigonometric ratios. standard angles 30, 45, and 60. At any time, I'll be asking you the questions. Online students, did you all follow this solution? It's clear, no? Very good. Yeah. Janice, Sia, Afnan, Joel, clear? It's a
Yes,
very
sir.
hypothetical question, okay? Ria,
Yes,
Karani, Purva, Ron, a very hypothetical question. So the angle of elevation at which the person has to look at the sun is 60 degrees. Nobody can do that on this earth. Okay, fine, children. Angle of elevation of the sun means the person has to look at the direction of the sun. Direction of the sun means your vision is going to the sun, isn't it? Huh? From point C. Point C is what? See, I'll show you once again. What is point C here? Is the point where the shadow ends, isn't it? From that end point, you have to look in the direction where the sun rays are falling. Sun rays are falling means what? You have to look at exactly at the sun, isn't it? If the sun is over here and the sun rays is falling here, isn't it? Your eyes or your sight will go towards the direction of the sun. Indirectly speaking, you are looking at the sun. Okay, practically not possible. Understood? It's possible for you to look at the sun. Okay, next question. A ladder is placed along a wall such that its upper end is resting against a vertical wall. The foot of the ladder is 2.4 meters from the wall, and the ladder is making an angle of 68 degree with the ground. Find the height up to which the ladder reaches. Always remember, no matter how complicated the question is, in this chapter, you will end up forming a right angle triangle, isn't it? You will end up forming a right angle triangle because heights and distances, or in short, trigonometry is based only on right angle triangles. All right. So children, you should be thinking how to form a right angle triangle once you read the question. Ladder is there, vertical wall is there. So you must have got some kind of visualization in your mind how to form that right angle triangle here. See this, children? A ladder is placed along a wall. You know that a wall always stands vertical to the ground surface. Does that make sense? A wall always stands vertical to the ground surface, isn't it? Imagine this is your ground surface. This is your ground surface. Okay, this is your ground surface. Now, a ladder is placed along a wall such that its upper end is resting against a vertical wall. Nothing, children. They are trying to place a ladder so that its upper end is resting on the wall. Okay, so this green colored line which I have drawn, that is what? The ladder. The green colored line which I have drawn is, that is the ladder, and it is resting on a vertical wall. So let me assume A, B is the vertical wall and A, C is the ladder. Do you all agree with that? Since the wall is vertical to the ground surface, the angle formed at vertex B will be what? 90 degrees, right? Now, the foot of the ladder is 2.4 meter from the wall. Now they are telling you the distance. Children, they are telling you the distance of the foot of the ladder. Where is the foot of the ladder? It's at point C. You all agree with that? AC is the ladder, AB is the wall. So A is the top of the ladder and C is the foot of the ladder. So the distance from the foot of the ladder, to the wall is how much? 2.4 meters. Can I say the distance of BC is equal to 2.4? Am I right, children? Yesterday I taught you all the basics, right? When I use the word distance, what is it? From the foot. What time does your class get over? Tell her to keep a little early. Sit. Yeah. So the distance from the foot of the ladder to the wall is what? 2.4 meter. So I can say C to B is equal to 2.4. Now, the ladder is making an angle of 68 degrees. This is degree, okay? The ladder is making an angle of 68 degrees with the ground. Children, where is the ladder? AC. Where is the ground? BC. So the angle formed between the ladder AC and the ground BC is equal to how much? 68 degrees. Okay. They are asking you, find the height up to which the ladder reaches. Find the height up to which the ladder reaches. All three, sit down. Find the height up to which the ladder reaches. That means, children, you're placing the ladder on the wall. They are asking you up to what height the ladder reaches on the wall. So you have to find which side of the triangle AC, isn't it? Because the ladder AC, the top of the ladder AC is touching the wall at point A. So they are asking us up to what height of the wall the ladder is touching. So this is the question to be solved. The height of the ladder which touches the wall. Are you getting it, children? You know, some students get confused. How they get confused, you know, they feel that you have to find the height of the ladder or the length of the ladder. Some at times, you know, you may get confused, but don't fall into that because they are not asking you to find the length of the ladder. They're simply asking you to find the height of the wall that the ladder has reached. So it's all about the wall. Okay, it's all about the wall. You just need to see where the top of the ladder has touched the wall. It's at point A. So from point A to B, you have to find. Now, children, can you tell me if the angle of reference is this 68 degree? What will be this side? Opposite side or perpendicular? What will be this side? CB, base or adjacent, isn't it? So which trigonometric function? Tan function. So tan with reference to 68 degrees is equal to opposite AB divided by adjacent BC. Now, tan of 68 degree, children, this is a non-standard angle. Do you all know how to find the non-standard angles from the trigonometric table? Huh? Online students, do you all have an idea how to use non-standard angles?
Yes, sir.
All right, Purva. Acha. The other students from Nabil doesn't know. Nabil, it wasn't taught in school. Maria, was it taught in school?
Yes, sir. But a few months ago.
Few months ago. Okay. Okay, Afnan. For teaching you non-standard angles, I need a separate session. So it's quite easy. Afnan, how come you people don't know, man? Huh? Yes, Anika. Tan of 68 degrees. 68 degrees is what? A non-standard angle, right?
We were taught that, sir, in our class. Rani ma'am taught that, sir, for the
Yeah,
initial chapter for D main
yeah,
trigonometry.
yeah. Uh, Anyways, I'll do one thing, children. In the next session, today I'm not feeling well, okay? So I will not, I haven't arranged, those documents to teach you. So I'll do one thing. In the next session, I will be ready with those documents to teach the non-standard angles also. All right. So after Nabil, you all can learn it in the next session. All right. So those who know how to find the value of tan 68, how much it is? I want you all to tell me the 4 decimal value. 2.47 2.4751 is equal to AB divided by BC. All right. BC value is given to you 2.4, right? So let me write it here. 2.4. Acha. Now pay attention. I have to share a very important note over here. Children, many of the students do this mistake in the board paper. What is the value of tan 68? It is 2.4751. You all use the Clark's table, which is given at the end of the textbook, and you got the value as 2.4751. All right. Now, what students do is they try to directly round off this 2.4751 to two decimal places. Okay. And what they do is instead of writing it as 2.4751, they will write it as 2.48. Why? Because the next digit to 7 is what? 5. It is greater than or equal to 5. This is not considered, and hence 1 is added to 7. So they write 2.48 is equal to AB upon 2.4. If you do this in the board paper, they will directly cancel your step at this point itself. They will not even bother to read the remaining part of your solution. Okay? Only once I will say this. If you repeat this mistake, I'm going to give you nicely. Okay, in the very first sum, I'm telling you, this is a miserable mistake that you people do. Even after the teacher informing multiple times, whatever 4-digit or whatever 4 decimal digit number you get as a value, you have to take it. If you round it off in the very beginning, no matter even if your answer is approximately correct, you will not get even 1 mark for your answer. Okay. So kindly be careful. So we have to do this. 2.4751 is equal to what? AB upon 2.4. All right, AB upon 2.4. Now, AB will be equal to how much? 2.4751 into 2.4. Just multiply this, and here in the final answer, you have to give me the answer in 2 decimal places. 5.94. Is everyone getting the same answer? Milan, how much you're getting? 5.94 meter. Is this what you're getting? 5.94 meters. Is it clear for all? Now, children, here also an important point. Now, why did I ask you to round this off to 2 decimal places? There is a reason behind it. Children, each centimeter has got how many millimeters? Sorry, this is meter, right? Each meter has got how many centimeters? 100 centimeters, right? So after the decimal point, you should be placing only 2 decimal digits. Why? Because here when you write 5.94, here when you write 5.94 meter, it actually means 5 plus 0.94 meters. Am I right? 5 plus 0.94 meters. So this 5 is anyways meter plus 0.94 meters. Children, 0.94 meter is nothing but 94 centimeters. You should have this technical knowledge about it. Jeevan, what did I explain here? What did I explain here? What did I explain here so far? Centimeter? Centimeter? I'm here to teach. What is it? What is it? What is it? All right. So it's 5 meter plus 94 centimeters. Understand this logic behind it. Okay. And in 94 centimeters, how many numbers are there? Only two numbers are there, isn't it? Those two numbers are converted into decimal places when you write it as one single number. See that? This 94 centimeters getting converted into what? Meter. And it is written as one single number, which is 5.94. So if your answer is written in meters, and if you write it as 5.943 meters, this technically is wrong. Okay, it is technically wrong. So even if they don't ask you to round it off to two decimal places, you should have the moral responsibility to convert it into two decimal places and write the final answer. Are you getting it? Children, if your final answer is in centimeter, so say for example, this was 5.94 centimeter. If you write it in this way with two decimal places, it is considered to be wrong. You know why? Because 1 centimeter is equal to only 10 millimeters. So after the decimal point, you should write only one decimal digit. So your correct answer, your acceptable answer is only 5.9 centimeters. Understood? If centimeter is written, only one decimal place you have to mention. If meter is written, then only two decimal places. If it is kilometer, then three decimal places, because you know 1 kilometer is how many meters? 1,000 meters. So after the decimal point, three decimal digits should be mentioned. Am I clear with this? Note it down in your own language, whichever language you are comfortable with. Okay. Afnan and Nabil, you don't worry. In the next session, I'll be teaching you how to use the tables. Okay. Did you hear that? What I said? All right. The next question. Just read the question. Sorry, not this one. Amal, do you know how to find the trigonometric values for non-standard angles? You know it? Okay, fine. Two persons are standing on the opposite sides of a tower. They observe the angles of elevation of the top of the tower to be 30° and 38° respectively. Find the distance between them if the height of the tower is 50 meters. Okay. In board examination, never expect a question from this chapter which is based on only one right angle triangle. Never expect. Be it a question for 3 marks or 4 marks. It will be a question based on two right angle triangles combined together. Are you getting my point, children? Never ever expect a question based on one single triangle. Those kind of questions used to be asked in class 9, chapter number 22. If you remember, solutions of right angle triangles. Isn't it? Sorry, chapter number 24, Selena textbook. Only in that chapter they used to ask questions which was based on one single triangle. In class 10, the standard has risen, isn't it? And they will ask you questions based on two right angle triangles. And the first question that you're going to solve based on it is over here. Two persons are standing on the opposite sides of a tower. Children, two persons are standing on the opposite sides of a tower. So here, the central object is what? The central object is what? It's a tower, isn't it? There are two people. There are two people and there is one tower. How the arrangement of the tower and these two people are made? Children, the tower is in the middle, not exactly in the middle. The tower is in between these two people. isn't it? So if I ask you to draw the diagram, I can consider AB as the tower, isn't it? I can consider AB as the tower. Hmm? There is one person standing over here. There is one person standing over here and another person standing over here. All right. Now, is it going with the question? Two persons are standing on the opposite sides of a tower. Yeah, it's going perfectly with the question. AB is the tower. One person is standing at point C and the other person is standing at point D, and they both happen to be on the opposite sides of the tower. One is on the left side, one is on the right side. Okay. Now, they observe, children, they observe the angles of elevation of the top of the tower to be 30 and 38 degrees. They observe. That means when this person is looking, when this person is looking, when the person who is standing at point C is looking at the top of the tower, the angle of elevation created is how much? The angle of elevation created is 30 degrees. All right. You can also take this as 38 degree. That is up to you. Okay. I considered it as what? Anuki, you come and sit here. No, first bench. Come here. When the person at point C is looking at the top of the tower, the angle of elevation created is 30 degree. And at the same time, when this person D or the person at point D is looking at the top of the tower, the angle of elevation created is how much? 38 degree. The angle of elevation created is how much? 38 degree. You have to find the distance between them. Children, find the distance between them. Them means what? These two people, isn't it? There are two people standing on either side of the tower, and they want us to find the distance between them. That means these two people. The person who is standing at point C and the person who is standing at point D, you have to find the distance between them. That means you have to get the value of CD. Okay, you have to find the value of CD. All right. Aditya, what is your doubt?
Yeah, sir, for this question, can you give tan 38 value?
Tan 38 that you have to find, no, Aditya, by using that table.
Oh, that table. So I don't have a table. I don't have the table, sir.
Just turn you have a Selena textbook, no, Aditya?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
go towards the end of the textbook.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. The diagram part is clear. Once the diagram part is clear, no children, 90% of the sum is solved. Because from there, you just need to determine which trigonometric function you are going to use and what is the value you are getting out of it. And then add both the values. You get the answer. It's quite easy. Only the diagram part is a little tough. Now, children, they have given you the height of the tower. How much it is? 50 meters. So I can label here AB is equal to what? 50. All right. So children, it's a combination of two right angle triangles. So let us start with the first triangle ABC. Let us start with the first triangle ABC. The first triangle ABC, children, here it is. 50. Angle C is how much? 30 degree. Yeah. Now, children, you have to find the value of CD, isn't it? This is what you have to find from C to D. So don't you feel first you have to get the value of CB by using the right angle triangle ABC. Milan, is that clear? In that case, continue my sentence. Next, what will I find? Next, what should I find? I should first find BC. Base of what? CB we should find. After finding CB, what should we find? Very good. We should find BD, isn't it? First, we should find the value of BC, then we should find the value of BD, And then if you take the sum of those two values, I repeat, if we find the sum of BC and BD, what you will get? You will get the value of CD. Does that make sense? You will get the value of CD. Okay, let's start doing it. Anoki, with reference to this angle 30 degree, what is AB? Or opposite, what is BC? Base. So which function? Tan with reference to 30 degree is equal to the opposite side AB divided by the adjacent side BC, right? So, how much is tan 30? 1 by root 3, very good. 1 by root 3 is equal to AB is given to you 50 divided by BC. So this implies BC is equal to, BC into 1 is equal to 50 into root 3. Can you all get me the value of root 3? It's 1.732, right? Yeah. 50 into 1.732. So children, you're going to write the final answer in meters. So how many decimal places? 2 decimal places. Very good. So find the product of 50 and 1.732, correct to 2 decimal places. Very good, Maria. How much? 10 point. 86.60
600.
meters. Okay, now the next triangle. Very good, Maria. The next triangle. It is triangle ABD, right? Triangle ABD. Triangle ABD. In triangle ABD, AB is how much? 50 meters. Bhavish, you got the answer? All right. How much was this angle? 38 degrees. Now, you have to get the value of BD, isn't it? You have to get the value of BD. So with reference to this angle, 38 degree, what is AB? Opposite side. What is BD? It is the adjacent side. Again, which trigonometric function? Tan function, very good. So you can write tan with reference to 38 degree is equal to opposite AB upon adjacent BD. Arthur, you have any doubt? Angle PAD. Achha, we'll just see whether there is any problem with this. It will go in division. All right, all right. Okay, so let me explain that also. Children, please pay attention and don't do anything on your own. Okay, pay attention over here. A very important point I have to discuss here. Just a minute. Now, suppose you go with this step. Let's see what difficulties or challenges you are going to face. Suppose I go with this step, what challenges you are going to face? Let's learn it. Children, what is tan 38? Can somebody help me? 0.7813, which is equal to AB, which is 50, divided by BD. All right. So this would imply BD will be equal to, if you cross multiply BD to the left and 0.7813 from the left to the right, it would become 50 divided by 0.7813. Okay, and this is the biggest challenge that you're going to face here. Don't you feel so, children? You have to divide a number, just a 2-digit number 50, with such a big 4 decimal digit number. That is going to be a very big challenge. I'm not saying that you will never be able to find the answer, but you may take around 4 to 5 minutes just to do a division here. Okay, so I don't want you to waste time doing such divisions. So in such situations, the moment you realize that I have to divide such a big number, which is going to consume a lot of time, you will change your route. You will change your route. And how will you change your route? That I will show you by drawing the same triangle once again. Okay. This is your triangle ABD, where this angle is 90 and this angle is 38, and AB is equal to how much? 50 meters, right? Now we had to find the value of BD. All right, this is what we had to find. But when we went with the conventional way, that means with whatever angle they had given us, 38 degree, we found a very big challenge of dividing two numbers, isn't it? Which is eventually time consuming. So in order to overcome that challenge, what you can do is you can make use of the property of complementary angles. In the first session, that was on Monday, I taught you. These two angles are what, children? These two angles are acute angles. So if one of the acute angles is 38, the other acute angle will be how much? 90 minus 38, and that is equal to how much? 52 degrees, isn't it? So this angle will be how much? 52 degrees. So instead of using 38 degree as the reference angle, this time when you do calculation, take 52 degree as the reference angle. Okay, I repeat, instead of taking 38, take 52 degree as the reference angle. So with reference to 52 degree, this particular angle, children, what is BD is the opposite side. What is AB is the adjacent side. You all agree with that? Okay, so I will write here tan with reference to 52 degree is equal to opposite BD divided by adjacent AB. Now please tell me the value of tan 52. How much? 1.271999 is equal to BD, which is what we have to find, upon AB, which is 50 meters. Okay, therefore BD will be equal to, cross multiply 50 with 1.2799 meters. Children, you know, since meter has got only 100 centimeters, after the decimal point, you should be placing only 2 decimal values. Okay, do it carefully and tell me what is the answer. How much it is? 63.99 meters. Are we all getting this? Huh? Third digit is 5. Okay, so that means you can round this off as 64 meters. If the third digit, children, when you're rounding it off to 2 decimal places, you should first find the third figure. And then you will accordingly do the round off, isn't it? Yeah, I hope you all remember that. You are rounding it off to 2 decimal digits. So you have to find the third decimal figure. If it is greater than or equal to 5, then you will carry forward 1 towards the left hand side digit. Okay, the basic conversions which we have learned in lower classes. So this becomes 64 meter. So what will be the value of CD? CD will be the sum of, what was the first answer? 86 meters. Acha, 0.60 plus 64, which is equal to how much? 150.60 meters. Very good. Okay. Nabil, Afna, did you all follow whatever we did so far? Caitlin, very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Amal, very good. Otherwise, everyone got Maria, Sia, Nabil, Afna. Okay. Ria, got it?
Yeah, sir, I got it.
So we'll do the next one, question number 5. We'll do one more question and then wind up, children. I can't teach actually. Feeling very tired. I'm the class teacher, otherwise I would have cancelled my trip. Class teachers have to go. All the parents have my number. Chalo, listen, no, before I forget to say, All right. Anyways, for mensuration, if you draw or you don't draw, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the board papers. I'm not talking about school exams. Huh? Some teachers give you marks, some teachers doesn't give you mark. But when you go for boards, for mensuration sums, even if you don't draw the figure, nobody is going to cut the marks. And even for heights and distances, children, nobody is going to cut marks if you don't draw the figure. But the point here is, in heights and distances, if you try to solve a sum without a figure, you're not going to solve it, isn't it? So that's the point. Even though there is no weightage, you're forced to draw the figure. Okay, let's do one more sum, children, because we have 5 more minutes, 4 more minutes. Yeah, let's solve it in the next 4 minutes. A boy 1.6 meter tall. Let me draw the boy first, who is 1.6 meter tall. AB, 1.6 meter tall, is 20 meter away from a tower. So I will draw the tower over here. This is the tower. This is the tower. Okay, CD is the tower. He is 20 meter away from the tower. So does that mean the distance from B to D will be 20 meters? What do you think, children? Yesterday, while teaching you the basics, I had taught you this, right? The distance between two people or a tower and a person will be what? From the foot of the person to the foot of the tower or the building. So here the foot of the person is what? B. The foot of the building is what? D. So the distance between the boy and the tower is BD, right? So I can write here BD is equal to 20 meters. BD is equal to 20 meters. And observes the angle of elevation of the top of the tower to be 45 degree and then 60 degree. All right. So we will go individually, children. First, let us imagine that the angle of elevation is 45 degree. We'll solve the sum and then we will come back to the second part, which is 60 degrees. All right. We'll go step by step. Now, children, where is the eyes of the boy? At point A, isn't it? AB is the height of the boy, B is the foot of the boy, and A is the head of the boy, isn't it? So children, from this point A, this boy is looking at the top of the tower. Where is the top of the tower? At point C. Now, how much is the angle of elevation? In the first case, it is 45 degrees. So children, at this point A, you have to show the angle of elevation 45 degrees, isn't it? Do we have the horizontal line here? No. Do we have the privilege to draw an extra horizontal line here? Yes. So from this point A, I will draw the imaginary horizontal line. I will draw the imaginary horizontal line. And this line which I have drawn is parallel to the ground surface, isn't it? So let it touch at point E. Anovi, explain whatever I said. Explain whatever I said.
You have to find.
Continue. Did you all follow whatever I said? From that point A, I have drawn an imaginary horizontal line so that I can show you the angle of inclination, isn't it? You all know day before yesterday, I taught you what is the definition of angle of inclination and angle of depression. It is always the angle formed between the line of sight and the line of horizontal. Here, what is AC? AC is the line of sight. But where was the line of horizontal? It was not present in the figure. So I had to take that extra effort to draw it. Okay, that is why from point A, I drew a horizontal line AE. And that horizontal is parallel to the ground surface BD. So far, everything is fine. Okay. And this angle is how much? 45 degrees. Okay. Now, children, you remember I had taught you this also. What will be the Or what quadrilateral is this ABDE? It's a rectangle. You all remember, right? So if AB is equal to 1.6 meters, ED will be equal to how much? 1.6 meters. They are asking us to find what the height of the tower. Isn't it? The whole height. See, CD is the height of the tower. But out of CD, ED is already available to you, isn't it? ED is already available to you, 1.6. So you have to only find the value of CE. Once you get the value of CE, you can add ED to it and get the total height of the tower, isn't it? So which reference triangle we must be using? Triangle ACE, right? From triangle ACE. So from triangle ACE, children, you have to get the value of CE. Do you know what is the value of AE? As of now, you don't know, but BD is available in the figure, 20 meters. And since ABDE is a rectangle, the opposite sides are what? Equal. So AE will be equal to how much? 20 meters. Make sense? Okay. So now, children, so with reference to 45 degrees, opposite side is CE and adjacent side is AE. So tan 45 degree will be equal to opposite CE upon adjacent AE. Tan 45 is how much? CE upon 20. So CE is equal to 1 into 20, which is equal to 20 meters. You got the value of CE, which is 20. How much will be the height of the tower? Sachin, tell me. How much will be the height of the tower? 21.6 meters. Make sense, no, children? CD is equal to the sum of 20 and 1.6, which is equal to 21.6 meters. Will you do it for the second part? Where I'm the hub. So I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll come to your place to check. Okay. Do for the second part. We'll continue with the class, children. No problem. I'll manage. We'll continue with the class till 7:30. No problem. No. As it is, I'm having that, feeling that I'm not going to teach you for the next 4 days. That is, I'm absolutely fine. Huh? No. You do it. No. Broken over by the wind makes an angle of 45 degrees with the ground and the distance from the root to the point where the top of the tree touches the ground is 15 meters. What was the height of the tree before it was broken? Children, you know what is the plus point of heights and distances in class 10? No matter how complicated the question looks like, you will eventually fall onto a right angle triangle. Okay, that's the plus point of this chapter in class 10. But the moment you reach class 11, where you will again learn trigonometry, you will have word problems in the last exercise and even in the miscellaneous exercise. If you go with NCERT textbooks, there you will find such word problems where the existence of right angle triangles is very less. Okay, the kind of figures you will have to draw in class 11 is way beyond your imagination. So if you feel that 10th standard is tough, I'm telling you class 11 is going to be horrible for you. Okay. So better you understand the basics in class 10 itself, so that when your teacher in 11th standard will teach you heights and distances, you will be able to relate it with whatever you did in class 10. All right, I'm talking to those students who are going to take science and commerce in 11th standard. For them, basic mathematics is a must. For them, this chapter is a compulsion. Okay, that is why I'm telling you, children, 10th standard is very easy, easily you can handle, because it's all based on right angle triangles. 11th is very complicated. Okay, now the Milan, you're traveling in a sleeper semi non-AC bus. Then, yeah, there is a tree. Listen to this part, children. There is a tree. Okay, I'm drawing the tree over here. Imagine A, B is the tree. what happened, there was heavy wind and rain the other day, and from some point, this tree broke. From some point, this tree broke. So I will take that point as C. Now the point from where the tree broke, I will take it as point C. So from this point C, the tree broke, and the broken portion, which is AC, it fell on the ground. Okay, it fell on the ground over here. It fell on the ground. So let me take that point as D. Wherever it fell on the ground, that tip of the point is taken as what? D. Now children, the upper part of a tree broken over by the wind makes an angle of 45 degrees with the ground. Upper portion of the tree. So children, CA is the upper portion which we are talking about. CA is the upper portion which we are talking about. And that portion broke and it fell on the ground. So what happens, the angle formed between this point D, the angle formed between CD and BD is equal to how much? 45 degrees. I know you people must have not clearly understood this part. I'll repeat it. Read this question from the beginning. The upper part of a tree. Okay, AB is the whole tree, out of which from that point C, the tree broke. So AC is the upper portion of the tree and CB is the lower portion of the tree. Do you all understand that? AC is the upper portion and CB is the lower portion. After it, got a crack at point C. Now the upper portion, which is AC, is going to fall on the ground. It fell on the ground like this. So this is the broken portion of the tree, which is touching the ground surface over here at this point. Now the angle formed between the broken portion of the tree and the ground is equal to how much? 45 degrees. So here CD happens to be the broken portion, BD happens to be the ground surface, and the angle formed between CD and BD is equal to how much? 45 degrees. Does that make sense? Now, the distance from the root to the point where the top of the tree touches, the distance from the root. Children, if AB was the whole tree, where would be the root? The root would be at point B, isn't it? Because that lower portion of the tree, it did not move from there. The lower portion BC is standing intact over there. It's not moving anywhere. Only the upper portion AC fell on the ground. So in that remaining portion CB, can I consider B as the root of the tree? Instead of calling root of the tree, I can also call it as what? The foot of the tree. Make sense? All right. Now you read this part once again. The distance from the root, that is B, to the point where the top of the tree touches the ground. To the point where the top of the tree. Where was the top of the tree? Point D, isn't it? That is touching the ground. At which point? Over here. Point D, isn't it? Children, if I had taken the name of, or if I had taken this point as A, that would not make any difference. That would not make any difference. Here also A, here also A. That does not make any difference because CA is the top portion of the tree which broke and fell on the ground, isn't it? So I can write CA for this side also, the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle. So I'm going to replace it, okay? I'm not going to give a new name that is point D. I'll just name it as point A itself. All right. So children, the top of the tree is touching the ground at point A. This is the root of the tree. And the distance between these 2 points is how much? 15 meters. Isn't it? It is 15 meters. They are asking you to find the height of the tree before it was broken. That means the total height of the tree before it was broken. That is what you have to find. So children, let me explain you one important concept here. What is the actual height of the tree? It is AB, isn't it? What is the actual height of the tree? It is AB. At this point, it broke at point C. So if you want to find the total height of the tree, first you need to find what? the value of AC. Then you need to find the value of CB. And if you add both of them, you will get the total height of the tree. Isn't it? Loka, is it clear? You want to find the total height of the tree, before it was broken. So using this right angle triangle, you need to get the value of AC, you need to get the value of BC, and then get the height of the tree. Sachin, is it clear? It's clear, Joanne? Anoki, is it clear? But so children, from this triangle, online students, it's clear, no children. So far I have explained. Okay. So from this triangle, which triangle? Triangle BCD. Okay. From this triangle BCD, Angel, look here, otherwise I'll smash you now. Look here. Yeah. So I need to find the value of BC. So this is your reference angle, 45 degrees. With reference to that 45 degree, what is BC? BC is the opposite side. Huh? What is AB? AB is the adjacent side. So we can use tan function. So I get tan 45 degrees equal to BC divided by AB. Tan 45 is 1. Therefore, BC upon AB, which is 15. So this implies BC is equal to 1 into 15, which is 15 meters. So I was able to find how much is BC. It's equal to 15 meters. Easy for all? Now, one more thing we have to find by using the same triangle. That is the value of AC. Isn't it? Children, whatever is the value of this AC, the same is the value of this AC. Isn't it? Whatever top portion broke, it fell on the ground. So both are the same. So from the same triangle, we are going to find AC. Tell me, children. Acha, Angel, you will answer. With reference to 45, AB is already found. AB is already there in the question. You have to find AC. With reference to 45 degree angle, what is AB? Which side? Base or adjacent. What is AC? Base and hypotenuse. Which you remove your mask? Which trigonometric function is you? Base and hypotenuse. Huh?
Not me.
Cos, Angel, what is cos 45 is equal to, help me to write this. Cos 45 is equal to, cos 45 is equal to, huh? What should I write next? ACO. AB by AC. How much is cos 45? 1 by root 2 is equal to AB is how much? Divided by AC is how much? We have to find AC is equal to how much? AC is equal to how much? 15? 15 into root 2. Very good. Cross multiply. What is the value of root 2? Nobody will answer. Root 2 value. 1.414. Isn't it? Do the multiplication of these two numbers and write it correct to how many decimal places? 2 decimal places, right? Yeah, because it is in meters. So once you get that answer, add it to 15 and that will be the total height of the tree. Okay, that will be the total height of the tree. Amal, don't use Pythagoras theorem. Okay. As long as you can find the answer by using trigonometric ratios, don't use Pythagoras theorem. They will cut your marks. Okay. For that, you should listen to my class. Then you should have understood it. പഠിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ നേരത്തെ അവന്റെ സ്വന്തം ഗവേഷണങ്ങളാണ്. എടാ പഠിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ നേരത്ത് കേൾക്കണം. For whom am I teaching this? For you people, right? I'm noticing you. You are doing your own work. Show some patience. What is the answer? How much is this answer? AC? 21.21. Everyone got this? Milan, I'll come to see your book, okay? Yeah. Alvin, what about you? All right. So this part is 21.21 meters. They were asking us to find what? the height of the tree, AB, isn't it? Aditya, did you get the same answer? Aditya, are you there? Aditya is not here. So how much it is? 30? 36, okay, 36.21 meters. All right. Good job, children. Getting a little confident now? Yeah, online, Rian, Amal, Purva, very good. Children, one more sum. Yeah. The angle of elevation of an unfinished tower at a point 80 meters from its base is 30. How much higher must the tower be raised so that its angle of elevation at the same point may be 60 degrees? All right. I'll teach you how to draw this diagram. Listen, children. Okay, show that patience to listen to my class. Okay. Arthur? The angle of elevation of the top of an unfinished tower. All right. So children, they are trying to say that there is some tower construction going on and the work is not yet over. So you can expect some more elevation or some more construction to happen on the tower after some time. Okay. So this is the unfinished tower, which I am showing you with this line segment AB. Okay. Unfinished tower. I will name it as AB. Unfinished tower. Now, the angle of elevation of the top of an unfinished tower. So as of now, the tower which I have drawn is unfinished. So that pending work or the work at where the tower has stopped right now is at point A. All right. You can expect the tower to increase its height later on from that point A upwards. As of now, this is the position of the tower, point A, which is unfinished. So if somebody is standing at a point distance 80 meters from its base, where is the base of the tower, children? B. That is never going to change, isn't it? From this point B, if somebody is standing at a distance of 80 meters, let me take that point as C. At point C, somebody is standing and he is looking at the top of this unfinished tower, which is as of now point A. How much is the angle of elevation? It is 30 degrees. How much higher the tower must be raised so that its angle of elevation at the same point may be 60 degrees. Children, the more the height of the tower, the more will be the angle of inclination. Always remember this. And I'll make you write a statement over here, which will help you while revising. Children, please write this point. More height of the building or the tower, more is the angle of inclination. I'll just brief you this with an illustration. First, you note it down. More is the height of the tower, more will be the angle of inclination. Now, children, a very practical demo I'll give you. See, I'm standing like this. I'm looking at a wall, which is right in front of me. My neck is like this, straight, isn't it? Suppose I have to look at the top of that building. Okay, top of that building, my neck will slightly slant or it will incline, isn't it? Now, children, imagine I was looking at the fourth floor of the building and my neck is only inclined at this angle. Now imagine the same building and I'm standing at the same point. Okay? I have to look at the 10th floor of the building. From 4th floor, I have to look at the 10th floor of the building. It's obvious that I have to incline my neck to a greater extent, isn't it? So more is the height of the building, more is the angle of inclination. Lesser is the height of the building and lesser is the angle of depression or the angle of elevation. Are you getting it, children? This is A very important point. Nowhere it will be mentioned, but you have to know about this. The more the height of the building, the angle of inclination goes on increasing. All right, one more point, children. If the distance between the person and the tower or the building goes on decreasing, the angle of inclination goes on increasing. Does that make sense? Imagine, children, you just visualize it, okay? I'm standing here. Imagine this, huh? Imagine you have a building over here, and I'm standing at this point A. If I want to look at the top of the building, the angle of inclination may be like 20 degrees, maybe 20 degrees. What if I start moving from this point A and get closer and closer to the building? And imagine I reached at this point B. Now, will I be able to look at the top of the building with the same angle of inclination 20 degrees? No, I won't be able to look at the top of the building with the same angle 20 degrees. I will have to increase the angle of inclination, isn't it? So this may be around 45 degrees, say for example. Again, I started moving from here, okay? Again, I started moving from point B and I reached at point C. I reached at point C. And then if I want to look at the top of the building, will I be able to look at the top with the angle of inclination 45 degrees? No, I won't be able to. Again, I will have to increase the angle of inclination. It may be 75 degrees, isn't it? So children, as the distance between the observer and the building decreases, the angle of inclination increases. Please remember this point. And please do note it down in your own language, children. As the distance between the observer and the building decreases, the angle of inclination increases. Can you please make a note of it? Jeevan, did you write it? Show me. No, from there you show. What you wrote? Read it out. What you wrote? Huh? Online students, did you all make a mention of it? Caitlin, Janice, Jaren? Very good, very good. Joel, everyone did it? All right, sorry. Okay, now let's get back to this sum. Donna, did you all follow it? The distance between the observer and the building decreases, the angle of elevation goes on increasing. All right, very good. Now, what was the question here? How much higher must the tower be raised so that its angle of elevation at the same point be 60 degrees? I'll explain this part. Loka, look here. You have to increase the height of this building. As of now, till what point the construction is over? Till point A. They are asking us by how much it should be increased. Imagine, children, I will increase the height of the building to point D. Okay, imagine that I will increase the height of the building to point D, so that, okay, so that the angle of inclination increases from 30 degrees to 60 degrees. Is this part clear? From that point A, I will increase the height of the building to point D so that the angle of inclination increases by 60 degrees. Okay, increases to 60 degrees. So how many right angle triangles you are getting here? 2 right angle triangles, isn't it? Have they given any other details here? Children, the distance, isn't it? They haven't given any other detail. The distance 80 meters. No, children? Yeah. So BC is how much? 80 meters. I hope this part is clear. Because they had already mentioned the distance of the observer to the base of the building is what? 80 meters. Now, what you should do, once the principal diagram is done, you should be separating it into 2 smaller and bigger diagrams, isn't it? So which are they? The first one is triangle ABC. Please draw it, children, everyone. The first triangle is ABC, where angle C is equal to how much? 30 degrees, and BC is equal to 80 meters. This part is clear? And the next one is the bigger triangle, which is the next triangle, triangle DBC, DCB, yeah, where this angle is equal to 90 and this angle is equal to how much? 60 degree, where BC remains the same, 80 meters. Now, I have drawn both the triangles separately. Now, let me explain you one important point over here. They were asking us to find what? By how much the building should be raised. That means they are asking us to find this value, children, AD, isn't it? That is the height by which the building has to be raised, the value of AD. How can you get the value of AD? Listen to this. This is your DB, right? This is your AB. Okay, they are asking you to find what the value of DA. How will you find DA or AD? From this whole value of DB, or from the whole value of DB, if you subtract this portion AB, the balance portion will be what? DA. And that is the answer which you can find. All right, so you don't, is it clear? Albir, is it clear? All right, online students, any doubt, please interrupt me and ask, okay? Now, let us use the first right angle triangle ABC, Loka, with reference to 30 degrees. Which trigonometric function should I be using? Tan function. You remove your mask. Tan with reference to which angle? 30 degrees. Opposite is what? AB. And adjacent is what? BC. Tan 30 is how much, Albina? 1/√3, which is equal to AB. We don't have any idea. BC we know, 80. So you get AB is equal to, after cross multiplication, you will get 80 upon √3 centimeters. Make sense? All right. Now 80/√3. Children, hello, listen. 80/√3. Yesterday I told you, right? Rationalizing the denominator. What is the rationalizing factor, Anoki? √3. So 80/√3 into √3/√3. So you get 80√3 divided by 3. You can't do much over here. So just leave it as 80√3/3. Okay? 80√3/3. Now, the next part, children. From triangle DBC. From triangle DBC. Which function, children? Same tan function? Yeah, because opposite and adjacent is involved, right? Pavesh, did you follow whatever I taught? So tan 60 is equal to what? DB divided by BC. What is tan 60? √3 is equal to DB divided by 80. So DB is equal to how much, children? After cross multiplication, you get 80√3 centimeters. All right. You got DB, you got AB. Now, what was the final part to be solved? Finding the value of AD, isn't it? How do you find AD, children? AD is equal to DB minus AB, right? DB minus AB. How much is DB? Just now I wrote 80√3/3 minus AB is how much? 80√3. Now, listen to me how to solve this. Children, AB is how much? Oh, achha. It should be the opposite. Okay. It should be 80√3 minus 80√3 minus 80√3/3. All right. Children, an easy way how to solve this. Don't go with the LCM directly. You know what is the reason behind it? You have 80√3, 80√3 over here, isn't it? Take that 80√3 as a common factor out. So inside the bracket, what you will get? Here anyways, 1 minus. Here it is what? 1/3. Now this is equal to 80√3 into. What is 1 minus 1/3? How much? 2/3, right? This is equal to 80 root 3 into 2 by 3. Now children, 80 into 2 is what? 80 into 2 is 160. So 160 root 3 by 3. All right. Now, first of all, you find what is 160 root 3. That is 160 into 1.732. Okay. Find the answer correct to 3 decimal places. And then you will divide it by 3. Can you do it? Yeah, 92.37 is the final answer, Maria.
Yes, sir.
All right. Will you do this division and multiplication? Offline students, do it right away. Online students, send me the answer. Shazia, very good. Anika, send me the final answer. Caitlin, Sia, Joel, Nabil, Purva. Purva, did you follow everything? Whatever I taught? The explanation part and all?
Yes, sir.
Ron, Anika, Shazia, very good. Freddy, Rian, any doubt? Amal, Salim, did you follow whatever I taught you today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Amal, Janice. So that is the final answer. 277.12.
We should do divided by 3, sir, for that answer.
Divided by 3. Yeah. Do it. Final answer is 92.37. Very good. Harini, Gopika, did you all get it?